Princess Deokhye was the last Korean princess. After Japan invaded Korea and the downfall of the Joseon dynasty, she was taken to Japan at only 13 years old. Feared of her own safety in Japan and with the death of her mother, Princess Deokhye had been suffering from premature dementia. After she graduated from the Institute of Learning in Japan, she was forced to marry a Japanese aristocrat, Takeyuki, who was from a Japanese noble family and just graduated from the University of Tokyo. Their marriage was arranged by the Empress of Japan as a part of the colonialist plan to assimilate Korean royal family into Japan. After the young couples graduated from college in March 1931, their wedding was held only 1 month later. Before they got married, Princess Deokhye was already suffering from dementia. Her condition was unstable. In June, the couples planned to visit Tsushima Island together. Maybe because of the princess' health condition, the trip was postponed to October. The princess' health seems to be better at this point, so in the same month, they also participated in Joseon royal family event together. After 1 year and 4 months of marriage, they got a daughter. She was named Masai. The parents adored the little girl a lot. When Masai turned 3 months old, her father Takeyuki drew an oil painting of her. They often went hiking together when Masai grew older. It seems that during this period, Princess Deokhye's condition was improved and the family was having a good time. However, when time passed, in 1939, World War II broke out, a turning point to the family. When Japan lost the Pacific War in 1945, the Japanese government had to pay enormous pensions. Property tax law was then introduced. The nobles of Japan lost their status, privilege, and wealth. Their properties were taken to the state. Takeyuki also suffered from it. All the servants were sent out from the house. Losing all the status, Takeyuki became a professor and the dean of the Faculty of Foreign Study in university. Afterwards, Princess Deokhye's dementia got worse. Unable to take care of the princess, Takeyuki sent her to Matsuzawa Hospital in Tokyo, the capital of Japan at that time. The hospital was famous for having good facilities and medical staff. Shortly after that, Princess Deokhye and Takeyuki divorced. It was said that Takeyuki was forced by his family to divorce the princess. He had no choice but accepted it. At the time of the divorce, Takeyuki returned all the wedding items he received. In 1950s, their little girl Masai also became an adult and entered Waseda University to study English. She seems to be greatly affected by her father, as Takeyuki also graduated from the same major in University of Tokyo. In the university, Masai met her lover, Sasuke, who became a middle school teacher after graduation. When the two wanted to marry each other, Masai's father Takeyuki was worried. Therefore, he requested Masai to continue to use the family name Jo after marriage, and the husband needed to change his surname to Zo as well. Finally, at the age of 23, Masai got married. Shortly after Masai's wedding, in 1955, Takeyuki remarried a Japanese woman. Masai was unable to endure the stress from her parents' divorce and her father's remarriage. In one morning, she left her house alone, only leaving a suicide note to her husband. The note said that she was going to commit suicide at Mount Komagatake in Yamanashi Prefecture. Her husband immediately called for help. However, there was a typhoon at that time, so proper search was not possible. Masai was not found. When her father Takeyuki knew about it, he sent a letter directly to the police chief, requesting the second investigation as soon as possible, and saying that he would bear all the searching cost. Unfortunately, in the end, Masai was not found anywhere. Many believed that she committed suicide and died. The missing of Masaya was a shocking news to Princess Deokhye, and it worsened her health condition. A few years later, in 1962, Princess Deokhye was finally allowed to return to Korea to continue her therapy. 20 years later, one day in 1982, an old Japanese gentleman visited the palace in Korea and requested to see Princess Deokhye. He was Takeyuki, the princess' ex-husband. He already had one boy and two daughters with his second wife. His request to see the princess was rejected by Korea's side. The two finally didn't meet. Takeyuki then returned to Japan. 2 years later, he died at 77. Takeyuki wrote a lot of poems about Princess Deokhye, in which she was portrayed as a loved wife. At least for a short period of time, Takeyuki was a caring husband and father, and the family did have a happy time together.